In 2025, scientists at Penn Medicine implanted electrodes deep into a woman's brain. She had lived with severe obesity and loss of control eating. The doctors wanted to watch, in real time, what GLP-1 drugs do to the part of us that thinks about food. What they saw changed how we understand weight loss. Here's the term you need to know: food noise. Food noise is the thought of food that shows up unprompted. While you're in a meeting, while you're trying to sleep, 5 minutes after a full meal. It's not hunger. It's the brain's reward system running food scenarios on loop. Until 2024, most people didn't have a word for it. GLP-1 drugs gave us one because they silenced it for millions. And the effect is not subtle. In Retatrutide's phase 2 trial for obesity, 97% of participants reported a change in how they thought about food. Not just lower hunger scores, the entire texture of eating, cravings gone, the background preoccupation gone. Hunger scores dropped 15 points on the standard scale. Cravings dropped 17. And 86% of participants noticed the change within the first 8 weeks. So what's happening in the brain? GLP-1 receptors sit in the reward center, the same circuit that lights up with drugs, gambling, and ultra-processed food. When a GLP-1 drug activates them, dopamine signaling gets dampened. Specifically, it reduces wanting while preserving liking. You can still enjoy a meal. You just stop thinking about food constantly. And here's the broader implication. The same reward pathway also controls cravings for alcohol and nicotine, which is why trials are now testing GLP-1s for substance use disorders too. Back to the electrodes. The Penn Medicine team watched the nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward core, in that woman after she started tirzepatide. For months, her readings went quiet. Her food preoccupation stopped. Then after 5 months, the activity came back. The noise returned, which raised a critical question. If a 2-receptor drug only quiets food noise for months, could a 3-receptor drug do it longer? Enter the second receptor, GIP. Tirzepatide and retatrutide both hit this one, and it does something surprising. It activates inhibitory neurons in the brainstem that control both appetite and nausea. Same receptor, 2 effects at once: more appetite suppression and less nausea, which is the main reason people quit GLP-1 drugs. The buffer lets patients tolerate higher doses, which means stronger food noise silencing. Retatrutide adds a third receptor, glucagon. This one's counterintuitive. Glucagon normally raises blood sugar, the opposite of what a weight loss drug should do, right? But activating glucagon triggers a completely separate pathway, a satiety signal from the liver, through the vagus nerve up into the brainstem, a bottom-up fullness signal, independent of the reward suppression, plus it kicks up energy expenditure. Brown fat burns, your liver burns fat. You're not just thinking about food less, your metabolism changes. There's another quirk the trials uncovered. 82% of retatrutide participants reported that their food preferences changed. Coffee started tasting different. Red meat became unappealing, what patients now call the meat ick. Rich foods tasted flat. About 20% reported food tasting sweeter or saltier. Researchers don't fully understand why GLP-1 drugs alter taste perception, but the aversions fade for most people within 4 to 8 weeks. The data backs the theory. In phase 2, every retatrutide participant on doses above 4 milligrams reported eating less. Hunger scores fell by 15 points. Cravings by 17. Disinhibition, the tendency to eat in response to stress or emotion, dropped at every dose tested. And at the highest dose, participants lost 24% of their body weight in 48 weeks. Ozempic's number at 68 weeks is 15. What's still unknown: whether retatrutide's third mechanism makes food noise suppression more durable than what the Penn Medicine patient experienced. No head-to-head study has compared food noise scores between retatrutide and the drugs already on the market. The neuroscience is strong. The trial data is strong. Does 3 beat 2? That's still an open question. For every mechanism, every study, and the full trial-by-trial data, the article version of this video is at glp3.wiki. This video is for information only. Retatrutide is not FDA approved. Talk to a qualified healthcare provider before making any medical decisions.